Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. When it comes to Malik Scott, when it comes to Sugar Hill Stewart, whatever the hell his name is, look, I don't think either one of those guys have done a great job for Wilder or for Tyson Fury. Now, I do think, man, that sometimes it's good to be out with the new and in with the old. Kind of like this current hip hop bullshit. I'm in with the old school, out with this new school shit because it's just trash. And when I look at Malik Scott and Manuel Stewart, it's what it kind of reminds me of. You remember old school hip hop? The goddamn Big Daddy Kanes, the Rakims, man. Goddamn, even Busta Rhymes back in the day, leaders of the new school, the Far Sides, Souls of Mischief, man. You know, Gangstar, fucking all those hip hop groups. Then you fast forward, you get to the goddamn NWAs, you get to the goddamn Snoop Dogg Dre's, and you get to the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, the Wu-Tang Clans. And I still think the 80s is better, early 90s, all right. The Wu-Tang Clan and Nas's were cool, but I'm old school, right? Because back then, I really listened to a lot of that bullshit. But then you get beyond that, and, you got this shit. And that's kind of how I feel when I look at Malik Scott and Sugar Hill. They're this next, although they may have been around somewhat with the sport, I just don't think that they're qualified and they should be in the corner of those guys. Now, this is something else, right? I just think if a fighter is thinking about hiring a trainer, getting rid of the old and bringing in somebody new, like what Wilder did and what Tyson Fury did, right? Because I think Wilder should have stayed with Mark Breland. I think Tyson Fury should have stayed with Ben Davison. It's just my opinion. But if you're going to ask the question, you know what? Should I hire a new personal trainer, right? And get rid of the guys who've been helping me. I think there are just some questions that a person should ask themselves, and there's some things they need to know. Because it's really important to know what level the person you're bringing on to help you, at what level have they trained fighters? Now, I know Emmanuel Stewart had worked with the guy from Canada, man. He had hit in the head by Arthur I think Bernabeev caused the bleeding on his brain. No, it wasn't Bernabeev, it was someone else. I'm seeing his face, man. Adonis Stevens. Adonis Stevens, whatever the hell his name was. But him. But really outside of that, I didn't even know who Sugar Hill was. So for me, it's like, can your trainer, first question should be, can they really outline your goals? Do they really understand you and what you want to do? And have they proven that they can not only take your outline goals, but make them into a reality? Now, I don't think Malik Scott has done that with anyone. He didn't even do it with himself. And Sugar Hill, I don't think he's really done it on that level. And you're seeing that they're kind of fumbling along. I think Tyson Fury and the success he had against Wilder, I personally think without Sugar Hill Stewart, he would have had it. And we all know with Malik Scott, that shit Wilder did with Helenius, I think Wilder would have looked even better against Helenius if he didn't have Malik Scott. That shit was a fluke. Helenius just rushed in on him. And Wilder just happened to throw the shot off the back foot. I don't even think Helenius would have been given a chance to get on that front foot had Wilder still been working with Breland. Maybe the knockout wouldn't have happened in the first round, but it would have happened. And it would have been a lot cleaner. But I'm not sure when it comes to listening, right? I think the best trainers can listen to what a fighter wants to accomplish. But the best trainers should also be able to speak up and let the fighters know, nah, this ain't working. You're not doing that right. Do it again. I think Sugar Hill would pull the trigger before Malik Scott. But I'm not so sure Sugar Hill is a Floyd Mayweather Sr., my way or the highway. And like his uncle, Emmanuel Stewart, shut the fuck up, do it my way. I don't think he has that. We know Malik Scott don't have that shit at all when it comes to goddamn Deontay Wilder, man. Because he doesn't see Wilder as, he never saw him as this could be a potential candidate. Someone who I can develop and build into and help him get back his championship. I think he saw it as, this is my friend and I don't want to burn a bridge and I'm going to get paid and I'm just going to ride this thing out with him. Because he didn't do a goddamn thing to help Wilder except maybe be his soundboard and allow Wilder to kind of maybe talk to him and vent, and they go and eat mushrooms and do weird shit together. But that's it. The other thing I think that when I look at it is the fighters understanding what their budget is and getting a trainer that's really going to be fair as far as what it's going to cost the fighter to bring that trainer on to help him. I understand prices are going to vary when it comes to trainers. The top-notch trainers who produce the most champions, these already get paid more. But when you look at Sugar Hill and Malik Scott, I don't know what those guys are getting paid, but for me, I just don't think they had the qualifications to deserve to be in the positions that they both are currently in. That's just my opinion, man. I don't know if they have a hefty price tag or not, but I don't know what their education level is on the sport of boxing. But what I will tell you is, just because you have a lot of followers on Twitter or Instagram, that don't mean shit. Now, Malik Scott did fight. I don't know if Sugar Hill ever fought, but I know Malik Scott fought. And he had a nice record, but again, he never was able to pick up a title. So in that area, there's something there. But at the same time, I don't know if just because he was a former fighter, that would warrant him getting paid the same amount of money as elite trainers, because he hasn't proven himself. Same thing with Sugar Hill. In my opinion, he's not proven to deserve the kind of paydays that he's getting. Okay? Now, when we talk about some of these trainers, and I think when fighters are deciding to move forward and pick up a new trainer, I think it's really important to not get caught up with the names that they've trained before, but more or less the accomplishments of those guys they trained once they came underneath their tutelage. Now, if once those fighters came underneath them and you saw their careers just take off, like Robert Garcia does wonders for fighters, Freddie Roach has done wonders for fighters, Sugar Hill and Malik Scott have never proven themselves to do wonders for fighters. Okay? Now, the fighter has a whole lot to do with it, but the trainer has, look, the trainer is supposed to be the brain. And the fighter is the guy who's supposed to be, like the trainer sends a command, and the fighter is supposed to be able to go out there and execute. And it's a complementary relationship. But I still think the brains of the operation falls with that trainer. And if he's not imparting the right things to those fighters, the fighters are never going to perform to their potential. Okay? So I don't think fighters should be fooled just because they're big names on the resumes of some of these trainers, but they should more or less look at what those names accomplished once they came under the responsibility of those trainers. Now, credentials. I think that's important. What are your credentials? Anybody can advertise themselves as a trainer. You look at Sugar Hill. He's a good example of somebody who marketed himself well. Sugar, Stewart, Kronk Jim, Emmanuel Stewart, the Kronk Way, knockouts, my uncle. You'd almost think it was Emmanuel Stewart in there training people, but it's not. Malik Scott? What's Malik Scott talking about? The technicalities, man, the technicalities. And when you look at this holistically, when you look at it from a holistic view, I'm not talking about the 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 foot view. I mean, holistically, like, shut the fuck up, Malik Scott, always trying to sound like a motherfucker who just got released from prison and read a few books. He has no credentials to train anyone. Wilder knew that and still chose to bring Freaky Maliki on the team. Sugar Hill Stewart has no credentials. Absolutely crazy if you ask me. But hey, maybe Tyson Fury and Wilder felt they were in good hands working with those guys. Then it comes to the area of expertise. Again, man, I mean, some trainers are going to have their own focus. Fighters are going to have their own focus. If Deontay Wilder, if his area of expertise was the big right hand, and the knockout. He should have lined up with a trainer who could have helped to cultivate that and really help him set it up and get the shot off. Malik Scott took that away. Tells me, man, that when it comes to the area of expertise that Wilder needed help to cultivate, Malik Scott didn't have the qualifications. As a result, Wilder was out here as a sitting fucking duck. And Malik Scott turned him into Malik Scott, defense only. No offense. Just run for your fucking life. Sugar Hill Stewart, you look at Tyson. Tyson Fury was a clever master boxer. He could hurt you, but he was a master boxer. Ben Davison did wonders with Fury. The way Fury looked against Wilder in that first fight was amazing. Now Sugar Hill supposedly helped him sit on his punches. I don't know about all that. Okay, I don't know about all that. I still think Tyson Fury should stay with Ben Davison. That's just my opinion. But he has seemed to got his confidence up and believe that he's a power puncher now. But I still wonder about Tyson Fury and this warrior mentality shit that he has. I still think that there's more going on than just him bringing Sugar Hill Stewart and him putting on some weight and sitting on his punches. I think maybe a little bit of cocktail. But the number one thing I think that caused Wilder and Fury to bring on a Sugar Hill and Malik Scott, I think because they just saw that their personalities were compatible. Wilder and Malik Scott, they got a bromance. They got some weird shit going on over there, but that's their relationship. Fury and Stewart, they have some weird shit going on, but that's their relationship. So I think it's because they may not have everything in common, but there's they just click in certain areas, and their ways of motivating each other could be the goddamn same. So that's where they probably become really comfortable with each other, and as a result, you see guys like them getting the jobs, and those fighters feeling really comfortable even in a loss, because you have to be comfortable with the person you're working with. And I think that carried a lot of weight for Wilder with Malik Scott, and I think that carried a lot of weight for Fury with Sugar Hill. And then, in addition to all those things that we mentioned, I think something else that's important is like being able to ask them questions and ask a lot. And it sounds like Wilder needs that, but at the same time, they got to be able to listen. Like Fury and Wilder had to be able to listen to the question being asked to them. Now, I think Fury's more of a good listener, a better student. We all heard the rumors about Wilder not being worth the shit when it comes to listening and doing what's told. And maybe that's what's affected the relationship or Wilder's performances in the ring, because he has someone who will listen to him but is afraid to tell him anything. And maybe what he has told him, Wilder didn't listen anyway. And it's like, well, throw my hands in the air, we'll just see how this shit goes. And that's a problem. But that's where the trainer, unless he's just in it for money, he should walk away. But like, look, it's my way or the highway. But when you're getting paid, a couple $1 million to go in for a fight, and you're the trainer, and you never made that much money in your fucking career anyway, kind of hard to sit there, and decide, I'm gonna walk away from this shit. It's like that's like having somebody come in and say, I need you to do 100 burpees, and then saying, you know what, you're still gonna get the results of not doing those 100 burpees by sitting on your ass, because I'm gonna show you a different method to doing things without having to work so hard. They're gonna say, all right, cool. And that's what it is. I think with Malik Scott and more Malik Scott, it's just like, I don't have to work as hard. You mean I don't have to do all these extra things that I'm telling you to do because you don't want to do it? All right, cool. And I still get paid? All right, cool. Fuck it. The 100 burpee challenge, I ain't got to do that shit. All right. And I still get the results. I still get the trophy. Cool. And I think that's what it is. And the other thing I think is important is when it comes to these guys, like right now, Wilder, if he's going to fight, or Fury, if he's going to fight, which he said he's going to fight till he's 50 now. If he's going to fight after the Usyk rematch, I think they should look at themselves and say, have I made any progress with this trainer? What kind of progress have I made? And if they haven't made any progress, they either need to look at themselves or look at the trainer and just call it like it is and say, you know what, I have a bad trainer. And to me, all the things we talked about, if the trainers aren't checking those boxes that I just mentioned, for me, I think they need to be kicked to the curb. And more Malik Scott, but even Sugar Hill, I think both them guys need to get kicked to the goddamn curb. That's just my opinion, man. They just haven't done anything to really impress me. And I just think there's a lot of questions that should be asked. But anyway, man, my 2 cents, I think maybe some of these fighters feel they could do it on their own, and great trainers don't create great fighters. I think they feel that maybe sometimes it has to do with the fighters' discipline, their commitment level, and whether they're going to be fit, whether they're going to be mentally focused. And when I watch Sugar Hill, I could see that about him. He sees himself as a great trainer, but he feels like if the fighter doesn't perform, it's not my fault. And same thing with Malik Scott. Hey, Wilder didn't perform because Father Time's undefeated. Has nothing to do with me. It's on him. I call that the I'm okay, you're not okay. And that's what I think Sugar Hill has. That's what I think Malik Scott has. But anyway, let's see how Fury looks later this year. And let's see if Wilder ever comes back. But Wilder is all fucked up right now. Hopefully he get his shit together. But anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.